Good evening, Mr. Bond fans, and welcome once again. If you were a Bond fan in the early 2000s and you were around about the same age that I was around that time, 11, 12, 13 years old, then you probably remember the 007 Spy Files magazine. This was a fortnightly magazine, which was aimed at young Bond fans, and each issue would include puzzles and quizzes and information on various aspects of the James Bond film world. So, you'd have like little recaps of scenes from the movies, you'd have... Oh, actually, these bits were great. These bits were where they probably, designed to annoy parents everywhere, like, teaching kids how to, disguise and be a spy and leave secret messages in places, and, I remember doing they do the thing with, what Connery does in Dr. No, where he takes out a hair and, puts it on his wardrobe doors so that when he comes back, he knows that someone's been in his wardrobe because the hair isn't there anymore, so someone must have pulled open the door. And I remember doing that to my chest of drawers in my bedroom when I was a kid, and then I went back and the hair wasn't there, so I went and accused my mum, have you been going through my room and stuff? And then she was like, well, obviously I've been going through your bloody stuff. I do your ironing, for God's sake. You do it by yourself if it means that much. A lot of the stuff in here is just kind of, descriptions of characters and stuff. Every now and then you'd come across kind of an interesting detail. Like, on the Valentin Zukovsky page, they have, they always tell you if the ally or villain is deceased or alive or whatever, and here it does say believed deceased. And from that point on, I always just kind of took it as gospel that Valentin didn't die at the end of The World Is Not Enough, but he, maybe he would have come back in a future installment of the series. So I find it interesting that that character's fate was left in somewhat of a limbo. I also really liked on the Jaws profile, they had this picture of him and Dolly and had his current status as retired. I like that Jaws had a happy ending where he settled down with Dolly. So overall, there were 32 issues of this magazine, and I, of course, got them all because I was a massive Bond fan at that time. But one of the interesting things that it came with, and one of the main selling points for me as a 12-year-old when this came out in 2002, and of course being obsessed with Pokemon and Pokemon cards, were the trading cards that came with this magazine. Some of the early issues of the magazine came with these very attractive and not terribly aging very well tins. Clearly these things were not designed to last. But each issue would come with a set of cards. So these were themed around 5 things. So you have Bond allies, Bond villains, you have Q branch, you have vehicles, and you have locations. The idea was that this would be a Topps Trump kind of card game. So each area, for example, in locations, they have, they get a percentage rating for secrecy factor, fortification, technology, occupancy level, building costs, and action factor. So you would play against your friends, and I believe that you would put one down and then say, okay, well, I've got Crab Key, which has a 94% action factor, so I'm going to challenge you with one of your location cards on that, and your opponent would have to have had a higher percentage than that to beat your card. Or at least that's what I think it was. We never really played this game very much. We tried a couple of times, but it was, it was never Pokemon. So I cracked this out for the first time in a while not that long ago, and I thought it'd be kind of interesting to take a look at. Obviously, this was an officially sanctioned magazine, an officially sanctioned product, so I find it kind of interesting to see how Eon and, the consultants of the magazine, all of the Bond experts who were working on this thing, I think it's kind of interesting to see how they rated the various Bond allies and villains. Which is the most powerful card? Which is the least powerful card? That's what we're going to look at now. So obviously these cards, this magazine was kind of a promotional thing building up to Die Another Day, so the cards only go up to The World Is Not Enough, but there's still 30 in each category. So, of course, the first card that we have for allies is James Bond himself, which is a very, very good, strong card. So, the allies categories are job rank, fighting skills, intelligence, loyalty rating, style, and usefulness, and Bond gets a 100% loyalty rating, so there's no beating him there. I love that he's only 99% useful, though. I guess they took off that 1% for the man with the golden gun, where he's pretty terrible at his mission in that film. So Bond is obviously one of the better cards, and then we have Original M, who has a very high job rank and a very high loyalty rating as well, but slightly less loyal than Bond. For the allies, they have this style category, which is basically just how hot are they, is basically what that comes down to, and poor old Original M only gets 51% at that. Then there's Moneypenny, who has a 97% loyalty rating, 89% style, which is very good. 35% fighting skills, which is less than Original M, who had 44% fighting skills. I don't know about that. I think I'd be more likely to put my money on Samantha Bond than on Bernard Lee, but hey-ho. Oh, but Q only gets 33% fighting skills. Oh, poor guy. Felix Leiter's card is surprisingly middling, I think. Obviously, they've used License to Kill Felix, David Hedison. But yeah, 74% style. If they'd have used the Jack Lord Felix, I would have imagined that that number would shoot up. So far, Bond is still our most powerful card. We have Honey Rider, though, style 98%, so she beats Bond. She is a very stylish gal, apparently. Intelligence, 65%, though. That's, yeah. What letter did she get up to in the encyclopedia? I guess a percentage will go up as she makes her way through that encyclopedia. Job rank, 32%. I didn't know that there was, that's a fairly high percentage, actually, for someone who collects shells in the wild to sell them in Miami. Tatiana Romanova only gets 87% style, which is surprising. But she is more useful than Honey Rider. Ah, Kerim Bey. Okay, he's got quite a good card. Again, style rating, 57%. I'm not quite on board with these style ratings. I think he's severely undervalued. Pussy Galore, though, 92% style rating. Okay. Fighting skills, 91%. That's quite good. Tiger Tanaka, usefulness, 97%. Okay, well, he's a good friend to have, I suppose. Still, though, I think on average Bond is the best. I'm not expecting him to be beaten anytime soon. Kissy Suzuki has 90% loyalty rating. That's good. Style, 93%. Yep. Ah, Tracy. Okay, 94% style rating. Okay, so Honey Rider is still our most stylish Bond ally, apparently. But she does have a 98% loyalty rating, which I think... yeah, it's like tied with Original M for best loyalty rating, I believe. Okay, we've got Solitaire here, who, oh, bless her. I mean, she's got 96% style, but everything else is kind of, geez, a 31% fighting skill is not good. Again, job rank, 44%. I don't quite know how that works out. Is there indeed anyone above her in her sort of line of work in Kananga's organization? Oh, and then we have Sheriff Pepper, who, oh god... his highest rating is 57%, and that's job rank. Oh, this is probably going to be the worst card of the bunch. Intelligence, 39%. I think we'll struggle to find anyone lower than that. And style at 33%. Oh, man. Poor Clifton James. Ah, General Gogol. Job rank is very good with 97%. Fighting skills, 39%. Style, 64%. So according to these cards, General Gogol is more stylish than Bernard Lee M. He's more stylish than Desmond Llewellyn Q. And he's more stylish than Kerim Bey. I'm not quite sure I agree with this. Okay, next we have Anya Amasova, whose photo looks a bit like a mugshot. Loyalty rating 65%, but I guess we have to sort of, who is this loyalty rating to? Is it to Bond or is it to her own superiors? Intelligence 94% is very good though. She's more intelligent than Bond apparently. Ah, Columbo. Okay, surprisingly middling one, but 79% for style. This is, well, I guess he does have some nice jackets. Ah, Octopussy. 99% style for Octopussy. That is insane. I guess she beats Honey Rider then in the style department. Where's Honey? Wow, yeah, she does. Good on Maud Adams. And I think I'd probably agree with that, actually. She only gets 45% fighting skills, though. That's, she kicks some ass at the end when she's storming Kamal Khan's palace. General Pushkin has a 97% job rank, usefulness 85%. Actually, yeah, Octopussy only had a 48% usefulness. That's seems a bit unfair. Cameron Shah. Okay. Oh, wow. He has a very good card. He has a 96% fighting skills. That's more than Bond. Loyalty rating 83% seems high. Style 86%. Did we really see him in that much attire that sort of would warrant that? Yeah, not quite sure about that. Pam Bouvier though. Let's see. Job rank 66%. Usefulness 69%. What on earth? Current M. Okay, current M, of course, being Judi Dench of that time. Job rank 98%, intelligence 94%, loyalty rating 99%. Okay, so if you were to have a loyal friend, would you pick either original M or current M? There's only a percentage in it, folks, but current M, being Judi Dench, does have the highest loyalty rating. Other than Bond, of course, with his 100%. Bill Tanner is here. Bill Tanner, as represented by Michael Kitchen. A fairly middling card, I think, but that's to be expected, I suppose. Oh my god, Jack Wade. Style 30%. Is that lower than Sheriff Pepper? It is lower than Sheriff Pepper. Jack Wade has worse style than Sheriff Pepper. But he is, however, far more useful with an 83% usefulness rating. Okay, and then we have Valentin Zukovsky, who only gets a 47% style rating. I'm sorry that I keep getting hung up on this style rating thing, but it is quite all over the place. And then we have Natalia, 97% intelligence. Style is only 68 for Natalia. Fighting skills, 38%. I'm not quite sure I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, she's not one of the more physical Bond women, but she's, I think she'd handle herself all right. Charles Robinson has quite a strong card, I think. But again, fighting skills, 68%. I would have thought he would have been higher for that. Good loyalty rating, though. Good intelligence. Good style. Good usefulness. Very solid card here. Then we have Wei Lin, who gets a 99% for fighting skills. 91% style. 88% intelligence, loyalty rating only 67%, 76% though, so, not to be trusted there. And then Q's assistant, fighting skills, 30%, yeah, one of the, well, I guess he can't really fight his way out of that inflatable jacket, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. Loyalty rating's quite low at 80% though, for a an MI6 worker. And then our last card in the Allies is Dr. Christmas Jones, who gets 92% style, 91% intelligence, only a 77% loyalty rating, and 77% job rank as well. Fighting skills, 60%, usefulness, 81%, that all kind of makes sense. Okay, so just going through all of those for which ones have the most in each category. If you were playing this game, these are the cards that you would need to win. Interestingly, no one has 100% job rank. I guess that would be like the Prime Minister or the Queen or something. So for job rank, you have both of the M's tied with 98%. For fighting skills, you have Wei Lin with 99%. For intelligence, you of course have Q with 99%. Loyalty, you can't beat Bond with 100. Style, it's all about Octopussy apparently. And usefulness, actually. Who is the most useful character? I think that's probably going to be Bond with his 99%. Just going through them. Yep, Tiger Tanaka comes pretty close with 97. But yeah, Bond is your most useful and your most loyal character, and as a result of that is probably the strongest card overall. In terms of the weakest card, I think it's gonna have to be... Yeah, it's Sheriff Pepper. Yeah, I mean, Jack Wade and Valentine don't have the best, but even they have, job rank and intelligence to share between them. So yeah, I think Sheriff Pepper is probably your worst card. Okay, so what do we have? With villains, we have We start with Dr. No, and we have percentages: level of authority, intelligence, identifiable looks, strength, special skills, and evil rating. Dr. No's a pretty solid card to get started with. Identifiable looks, 97%, which sounds appropriate. Metal hands, he's not getting through any airport security. Then we have Blofeld, as represented by Donald Pleasance on both sides of the card. Level of authority, 100%. Intelligence, 92. Identifiable looks, 44%. I don't know if that's entirely accurate for this version of Blofeld, the one that they're showing on this card. Maybe your Charles Gray Blofeld, yes. Evil rating is 99% though, so there we go. I think that character is going to be coming quite high in these scores. Red Grant has a surprisingly low evil rating of 82%. Level of authority 41. Intelligence 54. I guess, yeah, if he doesn't know that you don't put red wine with fish. Rosa Klebb also, level of intelligence, 59%. This is interesting. Strength is 69%. I like that she's stronger than Blofeld is, apparently. And she's stronger than Goldfinger, who only has a 47% rating. But good level of authority and evil rating. Ooh, Oddjob's got a good strength and special skills, 89 and 91%. Ooh, Largo's pretty strong though as well, 90%. That's not too bad. Fiona Volker has quite an interesting... See, this is the thing, like, the Allies cards have style. These Bond villains have identifiable looks, which is, I guess, like, you know, your scars and your metal hands and whatnot, but... I mean, I would say that Fiona Volpe is a very identifiable character, and yet she only gets 38%, so I guess they're not taking into account good looks. It's mainly just kind of like, yeah, from a lineup, what would stand out the most? The metal teeth or the terribly attractive lady? Only a 60% evil rating, though. That's interesting. I always had Fiona down as more of a sadist. Irma Bunt is here with an 88% evil rating. Dr. Kananga with 83% intelligence, 94% authority. See, a lot of these villains are like your main villains, so their level of authority is quite good. Anyway, Teehee gets a 97% for identifiable looks, which is a strong card for that category. Identifiable looks for Baron Samedi is 88%, which would probably be reduced by about 30 or 40% if he were to just take off the makeup. Special skills, 98%. Like, yes, I think actually being in control of voodoo magic is quite a special skill. I would have thought that would be 100%. Francisco Scaramanga, 94% intelligence is very good. Special skills, 93%. Strength, 62% surprises me. Knick-knack. Oh, only a 92% for identifiable looks, but this is actually quite a poor card. 38% strength, 54% evil, so he might actually be one of the least evil villains of the deck so far. Carl Stromberg gets 96% for intelligence, which is going to be up there, but low strength and low special skills. Here we go, Jaws. Okay, 98% identifiable looks. I think that's probably going to be our highest in that particular category. Evil rating, 67% seems quite high for, you know, probably the only villain in this pack to be converted over to the side of right and virtue. Intelligence, 33% is probably going to be one of the lowest in that category. Ooh, Hugo Drax is an evil bugger, 96%. Very good level of authority again, unlike Aris Christatos. It was quite a middling card, really. 37% for identifiable looks. General Orlov has a surprisingly low evil rating of 82%. Intelligence, 75%. This is quite a middling card, really. Okay, and then we have Kamal Khan, who has 86% for intelligence, so he's more intelligent than he is authoritative, identifiable, strong, special, or evil. Oh, now we've got Max Zorin. Oh, this is I guess it's kind of a good card. 95% intelligence is something else. I don't know if I had him down as that intelligent. 95% must put him as, like, one of the top contenders, actually. And then Mayday. Oh, strength is only 83%, which, yeah, I would have thought she'd be more than that. And to be honest, I think she's more intelligent too. Actually, yeah, no, she is also, like Jaws, she does eventually turn over to Bond's side. So 83% for an evil rating feels quite feels quite low for her, really. Then we have Koskov, who has intelligence, but not much else going for him. Oh, interesting, there's no Brad Whitaker in here. Koskov's the only one. To say that they have, like, 3 villains from Live and Let Die in Kananga Teehee and Baron Samedi, I'm surprised that they didn't throw Whitaker in here as well, but maybe it would have confused people given the Jack Wade card in Allies. Franz Sanchez is more identifiable looking than 53%, I strongly believe. Strength is good, which is... But this is a surprisingly average card. Evil rating 92% is nothing to be sniffed at, of course. But level of authority I would have thought would have been higher. I would have put pretty much all of these things higher except for maybe special skills. Alec Trevelyan gets a very... above average card, actually. Evil rating 90% being his highest. Strength at 87%. Given that him and Bond have quite an even fist fight, I think I would have thought that one would have been higher. Actually, I wonder what he is in comparison with Red Grant for strength. Oh wow, Alec is stronger than Red Grant. Not entirely sure I'd agree with that. Oh, Xenia has a surprisingly average card. Again, strength is quite low. Special skills only 80%. I guess asphyxiating people with your thighs is not a special skill. Certainly something to keep off your CV, I would probably have thought. Elliot Carver has an intelligence rating of 97%, which seems high. His level of authority is also quite high. Strength, I would have put maybe even lower. Dr. Kaufman. Oh, lower intelligence rating than Elliot Carver. But 95% special skills feels entirely appropriate for Dr. Kaufman. Very pleased with him there. I love that they've got Dr. Kaufman in here, but they don't have Stamper or Whitaker. Ah, Electra. Okay, 92% intelligence, 92% evil. Identifiable look 63%. I guess if she takes her earring out, then she's, you would pick her out in a crowd. Okay, and then we've got Renard, which is our last card, who has an 87% evil rating, and that's his highest score. Okay, so I'm gonna whiz through them to see who has... I don't think no one's gonna beat Blofeld's evil rating or level of authority, I think, with 100%, but can his 92% intelligence... Yep, Elliot Carver has 97% intelligence. Don't think anyone is going to beat that. I never had Elliot Carver down as more intelligent than Stromberg by 1%. Yeah, okay, Elliot Carver is going to be our most intelligent Bond villain. I mean, Doctor No's an actual doctor, and he only has 91% intelligence, but Carver beats him with 97. Okay, as for identifiable looks, I have a feeling that this one is going to go to Jaws with 98%. And, oh yep, Teehee comes second with 97%, but yes, Jaws is officially our most identifiable Bond villain. Okay, next up we have Strength. So Jaws has a 94% for Strength, which I think might actually... God, Oddjob only has 89% for Strength, and Largo is 1% ahead of that, with 90%. Oh, Teehee has 92, so he comes close. Yeah, I think Jaws has probably got this one in the bag. Why didn't they just give him 100%? Like, what are we expecting a stronger villain to come in a film in the future? Okay, so yes, Jaws is the most identifiable and the most strong. So, next we have special skills with... Is Dr. Kaufman really going to win this with 95%? Did you ever... Oh yeah, Scaramanga has 93%. Oh no, Baron Samedi with 98%. I have a feeling whoever designated these scores had some kind of bias towards Tomorrow Never Dies, with both Kaufman and Elliot Carver doing quite well. Okay, so that's special skills, and then... Evil rating with 99%. I think that's gonna go to... It's Blofeld. Okay, so... If Blofeld and Elliot Carver teamed up and then hired Baron Samedi and Jaws, they would pretty much take over the world according to these cards. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if I entirely agree with a lot of these designations, but nor did I have much fun playing this game. Why am I making this video? But I think it is kind of interesting to see how the series, like I say, this is an officially sanctioned product, and I think it's quite interesting to see how the series reflects on its own characters when it comes to these kinds of designations. So I can't be the only one to still have these cards and all the Spy Files magazines, right? Like, someone else out there must have these. Did these go on sale anywhere else, or was there anything similar to these in any other country, or was it just in the UK? I'd actually quite like to know, so please do let me know in the comments section below. As always, below you can find my links to my various social media pages, including my Facebook page and my Twitter page and my Patreon page for those of you who want to go one extra step in supporting this channel. The next video that will be uploaded to this channel will be my big fat review of The Spy Who Loved Me, and it's going to be a really long one, so yes, I hope to have that up at some point in the next few days. But until then, Bond fans, so long for now.